Jack Spring,
Hello.
welcome to Bundle Park. Thank you for dropping in on us today.
Thank you.
Obviously, you must be very excited about the prospect of your documentary and the premiere coming up soon.
I am. It's like my personal Christmas. Christmas doesn't count this year. It's just January 5th. Very excited. So it's a bit weird because we've done a big sort of premiere night in Grimsby with 3-day. So I kind of know what it's going to be like, but we've sold more tickets. It's going to be a bigger event. There's a pre-existing fan base, so it's going to sort of fly quicker and bigger and better. And it's, everyone knows the story as well. It's not like you're taking a punt on a sort of something you don't know about. Like, everyone knows the story. It's been a lovely, brilliant project to work on. Super emotional. There's going to be a lot of tears. There's going to be a lot of smiles. It's going to be great. We did a little test screening in the summer. I've never seen so many grown men cry in a cinema. So yeah, I cannot wait. It's going to be a special night for the whole town. Whole town's invited. Buzzing. Cannot wait.
At what point did you think, I've got to make a documentary about this?
It was literally walking down the stairs at the London Stadium after full time. The idea was floated to us earlier in the season, but we were busy with 3-day, and it was a very soft approach. But we didn't have a story at that point. And then as the story was playing out, I thought about it and then realised, right, we're going to have to do this. And then literally after the playoff final, saw Andrew after, and over a beer sort of got the very loose green light, and then I think it was discussed internally. And within a week, the club wanted to do it. And yeah, it was great. I mean, what a way to spend the last 18 months just watching town get promoted over and over and over and over and over and over.
How did the process compare to the two other films that you've directed?
It was scarier because I don't have actors, and actors are my sort of bread and butter as a director. Not only do you not have actors, so you don't really know what you're going to get in terms of getting the emotion out of people. Like my job with something like this, everyone knows the story, but how do you get non-Grimsby fans to buy into it? It's about showing the people and their emotion, not their vulnerabilities, but their side that you might not see in the press, and relaxing everyone. And so it's a different process. And I'd never done documentary before. Like, I come from the movie world, and so it was nice knowing that the script is great, and no one's going to moan about that because it is fantastic. And yeah, it was great. I was far more nervous talking to footballers who are my heroes than I have been with any Hollywood actor. But yeah, it was fantastic. It was. You have a script, but you don't have a script. So a lot of it's, you obviously decide what you're going to show out of that story that we all know in the edit. So it's a slightly different process. There's a lot of onus on the editor, who sort of de facto becomes the writer in the same way, kind of over my oversight. So I feel like I've done a lot less than I usually do, but maybe that's not quite true. But yeah, different process, but really enjoyable.
People probably realise by now that you've not got a traditional Grimbarian accent,
Yeah.
but you are a town fan. How did that come about?
So my dad's side of the family all from Grimsby, and like every school holiday as kids, we spend a lot of time up here. Granddad until last year lived on Clee Road, right next to Mr. Clifton actually, so I knew Harry from a young age. And yeah, I just loved it. I got taken, I think my first game was around the year 2000 when I was 4. Watford away. I remember us losing 3 or 4-0, and everyone was standing up. I couldn't see, and big scream for the goal. Was Town scored, Dad? No. It was Town scored, no. But I loved it because I learnt lots of new swear words, and was really cool at school the next day. So I kept going back, and just fell in love with it. Like, I don't know why. It's psychologically strange because that sort of 15-year spell after getting into town wasn't enjoyable. Went from the outside, but it was. We didn't have a good period until the last few years, right? And just loved it. There's something about it. And I think being from South London, there's not a sense of identity like there is in Grimsby. And my Grimsby side of that has always kind of held pretty strangely more of a presence in my kind of identity. And I think people ask me who I am. Number 1, I'm a film director. Number 2, I'm a Grimsby Town fan. So it's up there in terms of kind of my self-identity.
Do you think supporters would be able to tell it's been made by a Grimsby Town fan?
Yeah. I think something like a lot of other football documentaries, they might be made by fans of that club very rarely. But I think being so ingrained in the club and obviously done a movie here before, spent a lot of time here, know a lot of, I felt like I knew who to interview, like outside the play and stuff, knew who I'd get emotional stories out of and who'd been through tough times, and things that I just, you had to have that intel as a kind of pretty passionate, involved town fan. And so that was definitely a big help. So yeah, it does, obviously it's quite hard to be objective, but it feels very, like Grimsby Town. It's definitely not a cookie cutter, here's another Premier League club that have just been bought and nothing really happened. Like we all know what the story is. There's no surprises. Or is there? Maybe we just end it before the playoffs. But you have to buy tickets and find out, won't you?
We're getting much closer to the world premiere now. What's that night going to be like for you, Jack?
It's going to be great. It's going to be intense for me. I think the big difference between Free Day and this, there's no actors in this. It's going to be, there will be a lot to do. It's kind of like getting married without a bride is the easiest way to describe a premiere for a director. You're working, you don't really, I'm going to try really hard to try and get a few moments of just watching everyone and being present and not being sort of involved in it. But it's amazing, it's a life event, right? You've got all your friends and family there. Town, it's going to be special. And I remember, on the Free Day one, there was a lovely moment. Everyone in the first screen, when it finished, we were in there by the end of it, and just everyone going mad. And it's they're the kind of things that you remember forever. It is going to be as important as getting married, or having a kid. It is. I've not done either of them things, so I might regret saying that in a few years. But for me personally, it's a massive life event, and I think for everyone there, it's going to be it's a massive celebration of this club. And we know that this isn't the end of the story. What we achieved last season was pretty special as well, and the journey that we're going on as well. So I think it's going to be a real celebration of that part of our story, and it's going to be great. I'm excited.
And after the premiere night, which is on January the 5th, how long will the run last at the Parkway Cinema for?
Yeah, it's going to be a week, and it will be the only way to watch the feature film version of it. So there's two different versions. There's a kind of TV episodic version, then there's a special feature film version that is just playing in Parkway just for that week after the premiere. And yeah, I did a test screening today and watched it by myself in the cinema. It's fantastic on a big screen. Anyone that can watch it on a big screen, do. It's infinitely times better. It's made for cinema. You've got a 360-degree sound. It's shot on proper cinema. Brilliant.
And will there be a way for Exiles to watch it soon?
Yeah, they will. Anyone not in Grimsby will be able to see it, so don't worry. I'm getting lots of messages about that. We haven't forgotten about you. I am an Exile myself. So yeah, there will be a way. It's about to be announced. Everyone that wants to watch it will be able to, wherever you are in the world. So don't worry.
Jack Spring, thanks for your time.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.